the Texans and the Bears on CBS. Former Bears coach Lovie Smith making his return to Chicago. Another return. Lovie led the Bears back in 2006 to the Super Bowl, simpler times. As for the Bears team, well, trying to bounce back after yet another loss to the Packers, and concerning moment early on. The bell cow back, getting rolled up on. That's David Montgomery. Injures his ankle and his knee on the same play. He would not return. In steps Khalil Herbert, who's been great to start this season in supplementary roles. And Herbert featured and performing. Cuts one back to make it 10-0 Bears. Big day, more from him in a bit. Then the Texans, they get their running game going mid-second quarter. The rookie Dameon Pierce, he was a nice little fantasy piece people were looking at as well. Pierce accounting for all 41 Texans yards on that drive to score his first career touchdown. Early third, the backs are dueling. Herbert cuts left, hits the burners. 52 yards later, setting up the Bears for a 3rd and goal look. And who else? Do it himself. Herbert plunging in to make it 2017. 20 carries, $157, 2 touchdowns, and a heck of a day. Available in 44% of CBS leagues. Go get him. Texans tied the game on a field goal in the third, so late fourth, tied at 20. Davis Mills steps to throw, clean pocket, but picked. Roquan Smith. Have yourself a day, Roquan. An INT and all over the stat sheet here. Multiple tackles. North of 14 tackles. That might be your NFC Player of the Week. As for the game, it's decided in the final seconds by the foot of Cairo Santos. Bears win it 23-20 on what was a, say, less than picturesque performance by both of these sides. Santos 3 of 3, 2 of 2 on field goals, and getting some love from the O-lineman. Is that it's a bit of a dirty dancing moment there? I'm not sure what that was. Bears 23-20 is your final as they get this one done and get to 2-1 on the season. It's been a start and stop season, and Justin Fields, well, he could have looked a whole lot better too, threw a couple inexplicable interceptions, and again, 8 of 17 for a $106. Not doing much to quiet the voices on talk radio this week, but a win here for the Bears, who moved to 2-1. The Texans still looking for their first win. Michael Grady caught up with Roquan Smith postgame.
Roquan, this one was tight throughout, and you guys found a way to pull it out. How good does this one feel?
Oh, it feels amazing. Back at home, getting a sour taste out of our mouth, and we talked about it all week, about just coming out and winning, and we did that. It was a tight game, but, man, we bent, but we didn't break.
It got off to a fast start, then Houston came clawing back as you expected them to. What does a win like this say about the character of this football team right now?
Absolutely. Young team, and it's all about the finish. And, you know, we started fast, then got a little slow for a second, but we picked it back up, and, man, we stuck together, and we believed in each other from the jump. So that's what it was all about, and I'm just happy to be able to get the dub with the guys.
And how about your performance? You were questionable this week with a hip injury. 16 tackles, 2 for loss, and that big interception, which helped you get the victory for your football team. What were you seeing out there that allowed you to be a menace all day long?
Oh, man, I say this week I watched a heck of a more film, you know, without being able to practice. And, hey, probably if I was 100, I probably would have took that to the crib on that one. But I'm like, hey, we're going to ice it. I believed in Cairo. So I was like, put it in his hands, let him do it. And that was amazing.
Enjoy the win. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Rowe knows, and don't let me shortchange you. 16 tackles for the man who did not practice at all this week. And you heard him say it. It's 6 if he had fresh legs under him. But the Bears come away with the win, and did so on the ground as they now have the fewest passing attempts in the first 3 games since 1970. 45 passing attempts. They're on the short list of teams that have just really leaned on the run and struggled to get anything going through the air. But they do get in the win column here as they better the Houston Texans by 3. All right, we explore more with 2 of the finest minds in the NFL. That's Tyler Sullivan and Ryan Wilson. Guys, Bears football has been predicated by the ground game here. The starting back and David Montgomery goes down. Khalil Herbert picks up right where he left off. And I guess I'll pose the question this way, because the expectation of Justin Fields has been much higher and has not been met yet this season, Ryan. But when you're running the ball this effectively, 281 yards on the ground, and you're winning football games, albeit against the Houston Texans, is this a playbook you want to see opened up, or are we really defining who the Bears are this season right now?
Well, coming into the game, Joe, I believe that Justin Fields had thrown the ball 28 times down the field, and, you know, that was troubling. So they tried to, quote-unquote, open things up. And the results weren't disastrous, but you would like to see a little more progress in your second-year quarterback. Again, it's not entirely in him. We spent the entire offseason talking about concerns along the offensive line, concerns at the skill position outside of David Montgomery in terms of the outside, and Cole Kmet wasn't even getting involved the first 2 weeks. So those are the things that also need to change. There was some blowback for Justin Fields, speaking frankly and probably honestly about who he's concerned about, whether it's his teammates or Bears fans. Had to walk that back. A lot of stuff going on outside of the locker room, it feels like. But look, man, you'll take it, right? A win's a win. You play who's on your schedule, all the other cliches. It wasn't pretty. You go back to the drawing board. I can go down the list of excuses you can make. You would like to see Justin Fields play better. I'm not panicking for Justin Fields. You put him on the Chiefs or the Patriots or the Chargers, he's probably playing a little better. Those numbers probably look a little better, but that's not how the football gods saw fit. He's in Chicago, and he's trying to make it work, and it's going to be a bumpy process. Today was another one of those bumps, but the upside being they won a football game.
Yeah, I'm with Ryan. I mean, you take the win here. Obviously, we're not looking at a clash of titans here between the Chicago Bears and the Houston Texans. I mean, neither quarterback played particularly well. 4 interceptions total. And yes, you would like to see the steps of a more polished passer in year 2 for Justin Fields. But like Ryan was saying, you can't really fault him too much. I mean, like Ryan said, we've been spending all offseason questioning the weapons around him, saying that Darnell Mooney and Cole Kmet are these top-tier options. Even David Montgomery, who's now down for who knows how long he could be out, or at least he was out for this game. He was supposed to be a go-to weapon for them. He's now down. Now you're leaning on Khalil Herbert, who, again, had a great day on the ground. He was a guy that many pegged as a fantasy sleeper, a guy that you should handcuff if you get David Montgomery. So, again, makes sense if you did that. Had a great day there. But overall, yeah, you're encouraged by the win just because you're finally in the win column if you're Chicago. But ultimately, you want to see them be able to pass the ball more effectively. We know that, you looked at all those teams in that graphic that we saw earlier from the 70s, from the 80s. Mm-hmm. I mean, we don't play football like that anymore in today's NFL. You have to be able to throw the football. So when you're going up against the Tampa Bay in the NFC or in your own division, when you're looking at what the Minnesota Vikings are trying to turn their offense into, obviously the Green Bay Packers don't have a legit number 1 receiver anymore in Devontae Adams, but still they are predicated more by the passing offense. Obviously, they lean more towards A.J. Dillon and I'm mistaking his name, but A.J. Dillon, and you look at all those guys in terms of how they're able to run the football. But obviously, when push comes to shove, you have to throw the football if you're Aaron Rodgers, Jared Goff, or Kirk Cousins. So for me, again, encouraging to see them get the win here, but ultimately, you have to be able to throw the football to win.
Believe me, Tyler, Bears fans wish it was still the 80s. I raise my hand. Hey, the conversation just starts here, and it continues on the Pick 6 podcast each and every day. Our team of analysts bring you all the latest news and notes, reaction on Sundays. Join that conversation right now by downloading, subscribing, and enjoying the Pick 6 podcast. More highlights next on HQ.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.